Hello my friends, it's Lisa and welcome to a new vlog. So this is going to be my last weekly vlog before VLOGMAS starts, which I'm doing weekly VLOGMAS. I could not do daily vlogs for 24 days straight, at least not right now. My life is not that interesting and I wouldn't want to edit my boring life every day for 24 days straight. But I will be doing weekly vlogs for VLOGMAS and I'm so excited, but this is going to be the last one I'm doing before that. So I'm going to see what I can do, what I can get read. I do want to work on some Christmas gifts, I think, this week. I also have a lot of things I want to film this week, so it's going to be quite the week to vlog. I don't know how interesting these vlogs are becoming because I feel like I've been doing them for so long and I'm like, I don't know what to vlog anymore. But I am still reading Gilded by Marissa Meyer, which is why I wanted to continue vlogging this week, because I didn't finish it in last week's vlog and I want to continue giving my thoughts on it because I'm so excited about it. We all know Marissa Meyer, we stand in this house, so I'm excited to continue on reading this. I was saying at the end of last week's vlog that I am really enjoying it. I'm very intrigued to see where it's all going, especially because it's not going as quick as I keep thinking it should be, because I keep forgetting that this isn't a standalone, it's a duology, so I'm like, shouldn't more be happening by now? But then I remember this is literally the first book in a duology, so we have so much time to discover everything and to learn everything and get to know the characters, but I am really enjoying it so far. I don't know if I'm getting 5-star vibes quite yet, but I also feel like in the second half things might pick up a little bit more. We might start to learn a little bit more, see a bit more of the world and everything, so I feel like it could potentially get there, but I'm not quite feeling the 5-star yet, but I am really enjoying it. And yeah, I also feel like my pre-order gifts for this book should be coming in the mail any day now if they're not already here, so maybe I will be unboxing that in this week's vlog. That would be very fun. It'd be fun if I got them before I finished the book, because one of them is a bookmark for Gilded and then I could be using that. Not that I don't love my Steve Harrington bookmark that I use basically every time I read a book because I love him. But it would be fun to use the Gilded bookmark for this book. But anyway, maybe those will come in the mail. Maybe we'll do an unboxing. But yeah, gonna be reading this week, gonna be finishing it. We'll give you all my thoughts. But I think that that's everything I have to say. I think I'm gonna go start working on editing last week's vlog because that's just how things work on Mondays. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go and start working on editing that. But hello, welcome to a new weekly vlog. Hello, happy Tuesday. So I just wanted to do a quick update because I'm actually going to get started on filming my December bullet journal video. I almost said November. It just doesn't make sense that I'm setting up my December bullet journal spreads like the final month of the year. I have to start thinking about what I want my beginning of the year spreads for next year to look like. We'll worry about that when that time comes. But yeah, I'm going to get started on doing my December bullet journal, but quickly I did want to give some reading updates. I am definitely past the halfway mark now. I'm up to chapter 28, which is page 261, and I didn't read, I don't think, a ton of this, like maybe 30 pages yesterday. I kind of ended up getting into bed like wanting to read, and then I ended up just scrolling on my phone for an hour instead, which I really try not to do, but it still happens sometimes. So I didn't read a ton, but I definitely think I'm going to be reading later. I think I'm going to be on reading sprints on Darian's channel later tonight, so hopefully we'll be getting some reading in then. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. I feel like Sam just jumped on my dresser. Dude, there's no room for you up there. Literally none. This cat all today has just been going from one thing to the next, getting into stuff. Anyway, what I was saying is, what was I saying actually? Sprints. Liking it so far, I think is what I was saying. Oh yeah. Oh my god, I just had to completely go back. I'm still liking it, and I feel like some of the things with like the world building and like the magic and stuff and how certain things kind of worked in this book, I wasn't completely understanding, but I feel like I've now understood it. I don't know what happened, why I didn't understand it in the first place, because I was kind of reading and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I don't know, I just must have not been paying attention, but I get it now, which is good. It's not complicated, I just don't think I was paying the most attention, but still enjoying it. Definitely going to read some of it today, especially later on during the sprints. But yeah, I just wanted to give a quick update. I'm now going to start working on my December bullet journal spreads. I'm very excited because I'm doing some Christmassy spreads and it's going to be a really fun time, I think, setting them up. Hello, everyone. Guess who's sick again? Woo! It's me. I will say, though, that this time I'm like 99.9% sure this is just a cold. It is the exact same symptoms I get when I have a cold. I know there's been like a cold and flu thing kind of going around. It is that time of year, so that's what it is. Pretty sure. But I did just want to check in and give some reading updates because I was on sprints on Darian's channel last night. So I did read a bit of Gilded. I think I read like 70-ish pages, and when I started out on the sprints I was like halfway through the book, and now I'm on page 333. That's spicy, but I think there's like exactly 500 pages of the book, so I have like 170, like a little under, left of the book, and I feel like a lot is gonna go down in this last bit of the book. I feel like we've really started to see our main character, Serilda, kind of start to have a lot of questions about the world she's in and like different characters and things. Like there's just like a lot of mysteries surrounding different characters and different things in this book. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see her try to like find things out about that. And I feel like where I started last night, things really started to pick up. I feel like this book has been a bit slow going so far, which glad I remembered that it's not a standalone and that we're going to be getting a sequel, because if it was that slow moving, I'd be concerned for the last 170 pages because there'd be a lot to go over. But yeah, it has been a bit slower moving, I feel like, but I feel like it has started to pick up towards the second half and like onwards. I feel like a lot of the questions that she has are being asked, and I feel like she's starting to kind of figure out certain things going on. So I'm very interested to see how all of the mysteries, like what exactly happened and how they all connect, because I'm sure they connect in some way. I will say there is something that I don't know, it's not that I'm not liking it, it just felt like it happened very quickly, and that's kind of like the romance in this book. Serilda and Gild, who is, I think, the Rumpelstiltskin character, he told her to call him Gild, so I'm convinced that that's not his name, because that is a part of the original Rumpelstiltskin story, is that he has the miller's daughter guess his name. But Serilda and Gild kind of have a certain relationship starting to kind of develop. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to say like any spoilers for this book. Also, there goes my chair squeaking again. Oh. But it just felt like that kind of happened very quickly. It's not like they're like out here confessing their love for one another already, but it's just interesting, the pacing, because they've only met 3 times, but things with their relationship have happened a lot, and like they only met for the 3rd time like 300 pages into the book, so it did take a while to get for them to meet for the 3rd time, but their relationship had moved kind of fast. So there's something a bit off for me with the pacing with just like that specific relationship. I mean, the rest of the book has been pretty slow, like I said, but I'm not minding it because I feel like I'm understanding the world and the characters and their motivations and kind of understanding why certain things are happening and like the mysteries and everything. So I'm not mad at the pacing. It just felt like that specific part of it happened very fast. But I do really like Gild, his character. Marissa Meyer just always writes soft boys, and every time they get me. I just love all of them. And Gild is no exception. He's very funny, just very cute, a soft boy, very endearing. So I'm really liking all of the scenes with him. I find that I'm like kind of smiling a bit when he's like on the page. Like last night during the sprints, I felt myself like starting to smile, and I'm like, well, people are watching you read right now, so you might want to just not look like that. So yeah, that's like my one thing, just the certain relationship developing quite quickly, but I'm still really liking the way everything's going and all the mysteries and the questions. And I find this world and all these characters to be very interesting. I'm very interested about the Earl King, who is kind of like the guy who has the wild hunt. I feel like I haven't really explained the synopsis of this book, but basically like he's the guy that like takes Serilda to the castle to spin straw into gold, and he's like not the nicest guy. And I'm just very intrigued by him. I think he's very interesting. I feel like there's a lot of history with his character and the things that he's done that we don't know yet. So I definitely have a lot of questions that I think might be answered in this book, but I feel like I'm just going to end up having more questions, and then I'm going to be patiently waiting, or impatiently waiting for the sequel more so. But like I said, I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that get brought up, a lot of questions, and a lot of just things that happen in the last like 170 pages. At least I hope so. I feel like the action might pick up a little bit more, but I also feel like this book could just be like setting up for all of the action that might happen in the sequel. I'm not really sure, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that go down in the last bit of this book. So I definitely want to read later on tonight to keep going with this Still not feeling like a 5-star for me, but I definitely don't think it's like lower than a 4. I am really liking it, but I'm just really interested to see how other people are thinking about this book, because I feel like I haven't seen like any reviews of it, and I haven't actually talked to Brittany about it in a few days. I don't think she had read anything for a while, so we weren't really talking much about it, but I don't know, I haven't seen many people reading this yet, so I don't know how people are going to feel about it. I'm very interested to see like people read it and see their thoughts, but yeah, I'm liking it so far. I'm not loving it, but I'm liking it. But yeah, I thought I would just give some reading updates because I have done some reading, and I honestly feel like I might finish those 170-ish pages over the next couple of days. I feel like if I get reading tonight, I could potentially finish it tonight, but no promises. No promises there. We all know I say I'm gonna read, and then I don't. That's what these reading vlogs basically are. But yeah, I feel like I'm definitely gonna want to do some reading later tonight, and I feel like I'll probably finish it either today or tomorrow, and I'm just really excited to see what's gonna happen in the final bit of the book, because I feel like a lot is about to go down. Hello. I'm so sick. I feel like I don't know if it's just because I'm sick, but my energy has just completely disappeared. I just finished filming a video, and I think that just took everything out of me. But I finished filming the video, so that's good. It's done. I think I'm gonna work on editing it now because I need to have it done for a specific time. So oh my god, this cat, I'm not kidding, he has been getting into stuff all day, which also hasn't been helping. He has like a death wish or something. He's either on my TV stand chewing the cable wire connected to my TV, which is obviously extremely dangerous, or he's just sticking his paw up into like the heat vent thing. Like, dude, what? Cats. I can't. I love him, but also he's driving me insane. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna work on editing that video, and like I said, my energy has just completely like disappeared. It's also, I am hungry, so maybe that's why. Maybe I just need some food. Don't want to get hangry. That wouldn't be fun. But I did want to give some update. Hello, almost just hit myself. I did want to give some updates on Gilded because I'm on page 400 exactly, and there are exactly 500 pages in this book, so I have 100 pages left, and I'm probably going to finish it tonight. I think I'm going to read the last 100 pages at some point today, probably later on tonight. And I just wanted to give some updates before we got to the end, because I feel like a lot of things might start to snowball and be revealed, or, you know, there might be more like questions, plot twists, things happening in the last 100 pages. So I wanted to give my thoughts before I finished. It's been bothering me trying to think about why this book feels different to me compared to her other books. And I want to say it now, I don't mean it in a bad way. It just feels different. And I think I have figured it out. Also, my sick brain is not working. So hopefully I can make sense. I'm not making sense. I would love to know if any of you have read this book or other Marissa Meyer books, if you can see what I mean by this. But I feel like a lot of her other books, like the Lunar Chronicles and Renegades, even like Heartless and Instant Karma, from what I can remember, they're pretty like action-packed, a lot of plot twists at the end of chapters. It's just like there's constantly something happening. It doesn't feel like there's ever really a slower moment. Whereas this book, it feels a lot more slower paced, and it doesn't feel as like in your face, action-packed, oh my god, drama, angst, what's gonna happen, that kind of vibe. I'm sure there's actual words to use to describe what I mean, but I'm gonna describe this in the way that makes sense to me. It just feels a bit more like chill and just slowed down, and not as like in your face, action-packed or drama, I guess. I don't know, like there's things happening. I don't want to say like, oh my god, it's so boring, nothing's happening, it's so slow. Like, I don't mean it in a negative way. It just feels a bit more like subdued, soft. Would those be words to use? I don't know. I don't mean any of this in a negative way. It's just different from her other books. So it's just been a different experience. I don't know. I think I just went into this expecting it to be just like crazy plot twist after plot twist and all these things going on and chaos, and it really hasn't been like that, which is fine. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the slow ride, figuring out what these characters are going through and what our main character Cerilda is finding out and what she's trying to, you know, the information that she's learning, all of that. Like, I'm enjoying the ride. It's just a bit more like chill in vibes compared to her other books, if that makes sense. It also feels cozy in a way. Not that there aren't like darker things happening in this book, but it just feels very cozy, I think, because it's taking place mostly during the winter time. So I highly recommend, if you're going to read this, to read it during the winter time. It just feels very cozy. It feels like you should be sitting by a fire reading this book. I don't know. That's just what makes sense in my brain. But yeah, it's just a bit different, I think. Just like the overall tone, perhaps, is maybe the word I'm looking for. I don't know, it just, the pacing and just like the overall like vibes. Hate to use the word vibes because like what does that really mean? I don't know. But just it feels different. It feels a little bit more slow and soft, I guess, compared to her other books. I don't know if this is making any sense. Like I said, sick brain, not working. The words are not working. They don't work normally, so it's like extra bad when I'm not feeling well. I just need to take a nap. But I am enjoying it, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of questions at the end of this book that are going to make me really excited for the sequel, and I feel like the sequel could potentially be more like wild. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens in the last 100 pages, and I don't know. I'm glad I figured out kind of why it feels different, because it's been bothering me. I'm like, there's something about this that isn't the same. But again, I want to emphasize, I don't mean it's better or worse for being different from her other books. It's just something I noticed, and I just needed to figure out what it was. But yeah, I have 100 pages left, so I think I'm going to try and finish it today. Brittany actually just messaged me and was like, I've only read 100 pages, so I'm quite a bit farther ahead than her, but I'm going to be interested to see if she understands what I'm saying, because I think Brittany has read all of Marissa Meyer's books. Oh my god, my brain. But she's, I think, read all of them as well, and she's obviously reading this one now, so I'm going to be interested to see if she understands what I mean by this, like, the overall tone and vibes being a bit different, and maybe she'll be able to more eloquently describe what I'm trying to say. Maybe she'll understand me, I don't know. But yeah, still enjoying it, interested to see where it goes, but definitely going to finish it tonight, because I only have 100 pages left. I feel like, even though I've been reading this book since like last Monday, it feels like when I've actually been reading it, it's gone really fast. Like, I can't believe I already only have 100 pages left. I feel like I've only really sat down and read a decent amount of this book like twice. So it's very fast to read for me, and I'm just very interested to see how it all wraps up. At least in this book, book one anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to give an update on that. I think that's all I really wanted to say. Wanted to give some final Gilded thoughts before I complete the book. But I'm sure I will be back tomorrow with all of my thoughts on the last 100 pages, my final thoughts on the book and all of that. But now I'm gonna go eat some food, edit my video, take a nap because clearly my brain needs it, and just chill. Well, I did say I'd be back today with my final thoughts on Gilded. And here I am. What? I have to laugh. All yesterday, you know, my review, my thoughts on the book so far before I read the final 100 pages. I was saying it's cozy. You know, there were some darker things happening with the Earl King and how he, like, has this wild hunt, and a lot of people who get swept up into that don't survive. So that's pretty dark, but for the most part, it felt more just like soft and cozy and enchanting and all of these things. And that was true, but it was not cozy in the last 100 pages. Let me tell you. What? I actually filmed my reaction to a part of the book last night because as I was reading, I was realizing what was happening, and it just kept getting worse as I was finishing that chapter. Marissa Meyer wasn't kidding when she said she was leaning into the kind of darkness that the original Rumpelstiltskin tale kind of has. The whole book, I was kind of like, yeah, like, it's sort of dark, I guess, but it wasn't, you know, I was like, okay, sure. She wasn't kidding. It got a lot darker and I was not expecting it. There were things at the end that I knew were going to happen in some way because of the original tale. I just wasn't sure exactly how Marissa Meyer was going to do it in this world and with these characters. But there was something that I don't think is a part of the original story. At least I don't think so, but I'm not like the Rumpelstiltskin expert, so don't quote me. But there was something that happened that I was not expecting at all, and I'm still in shock. Like, I read it last night and had to put the book down and just like stop for a bit, and I tweeted about my shock and how this was not as cozy as I originally thought. And within like minutes of me reading this shocking thing that happened, she went live on Instagram it was on her podcast Instagram, and she went live with another author, and they were doing like writing sprints for NaNoWriMo, and I'm like, okay, this is not the time or place for me to start yelling at her about this book, but I was tempted. I still don't know what to make of what I read. Like, what? I just need more people to finish this because I need to yell about that specific point, because what? There's no words. I can't even speak. But I was also saying yesterday that, like, I feel like with some of her other books, there's a lot of more shocking things and a lot more action and a lot more, like, things happening at the end of chapters that are kind of surprising or whatnot. And I feel like this book was not really having that. I think she saved all of the surprising, shocking moments for the end. But yeah, other than that shocking moment, did I even say what I rated this book yet? I gave it a 4.75. I'm using the quarter stars now. I've decided with using Storygraph, they're available to me, so I'm going to start using them, and I've also started to just specify that I'm doing like quarter stars as well on Goodreads. I was only doing half stars, but I've just decided to keep my ratings across all the platforms the same, so I gave this a 4.75 stars. I don't know, that might change. Obviously, I gave it a rating like right after finishing it last night, so I might need some time to digest and think about it a little bit more, but it definitely wasn't a 5-star because of how kind of slow some parts felt to me, and also I do feel like the romance in here, like, I don't dislike the romance, I just feel like it happened very fast, and I'm not also obsessed with it. Like, I do like it, but I'm not obsessed, and I do think that it happened quite quickly. So those are kind of like my main things, and why I feel like even at the end, even though I really liked the way it wrapped up, or I guess not liked, but was surprised and like really invested in the ending, even though that happened, I didn't feel like it should have gotten a 5-star, especially because I know I hate to compare it to her other books, but like, it's not my favorite from her, but I still really liked it, and I do like it more than some of her other books. So I feel like a 4.75 makes sense. That might change once I have more time to kind of digest the story and think about it, but I think a 4.75 makes sense. But yeah, I did really enjoy it. The only things, like I said, kind of slow in some parts. The romance, I was iffy on some aspects of it, but I did really overall like the story, and I feel like it's setting up for the sequel to be really interesting, especially because I feel like a majority of the Rumpelstiltskin story happened in this. There's just kind of the end of the story that we have left. So I feel like there's going to be a lot that is expanded upon in the sequel, and I'm just really excited to see where it goes. I'm also excited to see, I think, more of Gilded in the sequel. I suspect he's going to be in the sequel a bit more than he was in this book. I totally understand why he wasn't in this book as much, but I did really like his character, so I'm excited to see more from him in the sequel, and just how everything is probably going to wrap up. I'm overwhelmed. I'm still thinking about that plot twist that she did. I just was not expecting it. I know she was saying, you know, that she kind of played into the darkness of the original story and that she was able to make the story a bit dark. And I was just kind of going along like, yeah, okay. She was not kidding. She was not messing around. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I had more thoughts that I wanted to share, and now I'm just not making any sense when I'm actually trying to speak, which is just my life. The thoughts in here make sense. What comes out of my mouth, not so much. But I really enjoyed it. 4.75 stars. I'm excited for the sequel, excited to see where it goes. Just wish the romance was a little bit more developed, and that, you know, obviously there were some moments where it was a bit slow, but overall, really enjoyed it. Excited to see what other people think, because there are not many reviews that from people that I follow or I'm friends with yet. Like, I haven't seen many from those people, so I'm excited to see what more of my friends think when they finish. Brittany messaged me, I think yesterday, that she was only 100 pages in, so I'm just gonna be waiting for her to finish so that we can start screaming. But yeah, finished Gilded. I kind of was happy that I didn't do like a spoiler-filled vlog for this book, because I feel like a majority of the time I didn't really have that much to say. But I do feel like that one specific point of the book, I really want to yell about it, so I need someone to finish so I can yell about it. But I'm kind of glad I didn't do a spoiler-filled vlog, just so that more people can hear my thoughts and get non-spoilery thoughts and maybe pick it up. I don't know if this is going to be a book for everyone, like always, but I feel like if you like retellings, if you like Marissa Meyer's other books, I don't see why you wouldn't like this. But yeah, Gilded. She read it, kids. It is done. But now that I have finished Gilded, I feel like every time I finish one of her books, I just want to read more from her or just get more Marissa Meyer content. So the past couple days, I've actually been listening to her podcast again. I listened to like the first few episodes, I feel like, last year, and I've like listened to it occasionally, but I've been listening to it a lot the past couple days, just kind of when I'm in any sort of silence. That's what I've been putting on. But out of like 80 something episodes, I'm still only on like episode 17. So I have a lot to catch up on, but I'm very excited about it because I'm really enjoying it. But like I said, I always just want more Marissa Meyer writing and stories and all of that after I finish a book. So I think what I might do is read the short story that I got because I pre-ordered Gilded. I think I might read that later because I don't want to forget that I have it and then just never read it. And I think it's only like 50 pages, so it'll probably only take me like an hour. So yeah, I might read the short story later on, but I do have my next read picked out. It's finally happening. I think this is what I'm gonna read next, The Poppy War by Rf Quang. I'm scared, but also, like, it doesn't matter how scared I am because look at how floppy. This is a floppy paperback, and I'm obsessed, so it might traumatize me, but at least it's a floppy paperback. Like, that's, what else could I ask for? But yeah, this is a book that I've had on my TBR for a while. I've owned it for a while. Casey got this for me for my birthday last year, in 2020, and I still haven't read it. It's a book that I've put on many TBRs. It's just, for some reason, extremely intimidating to me. I think just because of what people talk about when they talk about the content of the book. It's made me very nervous to read it, but I'm excited still. I think I'm gonna like it. But yeah, I am still nervous, so we'll see how it goes. I am also reading this for a secret TBR vlog, which I've been working on all year pretty much. I feel like by the time that video goes up, it'll have been a year since I started it, but it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna get done. You're gonna see it eventually. But this is the final book on that secret TBR, so hopefully, fingers crossed, you will be seeing that vlog soon. So I'm probably not gonna give many of my thoughts in the rest of this vlog, but I would like to start it. But now I think I'm gonna do some worky things. I'm going to do a voiceover for my December bullet journal because I got to do that. But yeah, I wanted to update, give my thoughts on Gilded, share what I'm reading next, so y'all can keep me in your thoughts and prayers because I'm scared. it has come time for me to wrap up this vlog, but I did do some reading this weekend, so I wanted to quickly talk about what I read, my thoughts, all that before I end this vlog. So I did on Saturday read the short story that was a pre-order gift for Gilded. What is it called? I can never remember what it's called. It's The Phantom of Lancashire Manor by Marissa Meyer, obviously. And I gave this 4 stars. I kind of feel bad talking about it because it's not something that everyone has access to, but I will say that there was a review for it that I think sums it up perfectly. So this person, their name is Corby on Goodreads, and they say, a quick little murder mystery that manages to be spooky without being overly heavy. Lovely little Halloween read, and I think that sums it up perfectly. It was just a fun, quick little read, and I think it's something that I could see myself rereading in the future around like Halloween time or something. It was very fast to read. It was only like 50 pages. So I read that, 4 stars. And then later Saturday night, I wanted to continue reading, but I didn't want to pick up the Poppy War yet just because I wanted to do some reading about like the actual influences and things in history that inspired that book. So I read an article by Tiffany from Read by Tiffany. I'll link it down below. She kind of outlines like kind of the bigger moments in history and how that influenced different aspects of the Poppy War, and I read a little bit about it. I didn't want to read too much because it did get into spoilers for the books, and even though the books are based off of real events in history, I still didn't want to be spoiled for the fictional kind of story about it. So I only read a little bit of it, but I did want to do a little bit of that before picking up the Poppy War. But after reading a little bit of that article, I did pick up Ace. I literally read like 5 chapters. I mean 5 pages, not 5 chapters. 5 chapters would be a girl boss move. I read 5 pages. So yeah, I read 5 pages of this. Again, not very much, and I'm still slowly making my way through. I feel like this has just kind of been on the back burner with some of the other books I've been prioritizing, but I definitely want to finish this before the end of the year. I really don't have that much left. I have like 70 pages of this left, so realistically it should be easy to finish before the end of the year, but we'll see. And then yesterday I did pick up the Poppy War. I read the first 2 chapters, so I'm on page 43 now, and like I said, I'm reading this for a secret TBR, so I'm not going to say too many thoughts now, but I will say I'm intrigued already from the start of the book. But yeah, I'm going to save my thoughts for the secret TBR. Hopefully you will see that soon. Dogs are barking. I don't know if you can hear them, but when are they not barking? That's the question. So yeah, I will save my thoughts for that secret TBR video that you will hopefully be seeing soon. Fingers crossed. But yeah, those are kind of my reading updates from this weekend. We also this weekend started putting up Christmas trees. We have multiple Christmas trees that we put up around the whole house. We've kind of gone Christmas tree crazy in the past couple of years, but you know what? If it brings us joy, why not? You know, the reason I am this Christmas obsessed is because I was raised this way. My whole family's kind of like this. So we put up 2 of our Christmas trees this weekend, so it's starting to look very Christmassy, very cozy. I love all of the Christmas lights that are in our house around this time of year. It just is so cozy. I just love it so much. So I'm excited for all of the Christmas decorations to start coming out. A lot of them will be going up the day after Thanksgiving, so I will make sure to show you all the Christmas decorations and all the trees and everything in my next few vlogs, which will be the VLOGMAS vlogs leading up to Christmas. I'm doing weekly vlogs for VLOGMAS, so very excited to start that. I can't believe that that's so soon. But yeah, that's gonna be my next vlog, the first week of December for VLOGMAS, and I'm so excited. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this vlog, but you will be seeing me plenty in December. I'm gonna be uploading, I think, pretty frequently in December. I have a lot of end of the year videos that I want to do, and I will be doing VLOGMAS, and it's just gonna be a very cheerful month, and I'm so excited. But that's gonna be it for this vlog. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one, which will be VLOGMAS week 1. Bye.